Hi, you are listening to the Father Support Network podcast. This podcast is for single fathers and fathers in general. On this podcast, we educate, inform, guide, encourage, and help fathers navigate the complex challenges of maintaining contact and healthy relationships with their children after separation or divorce. Your host is Dr. Michael Uwangba. Michael Uwangba is a father of three who successfully fought for the right of his children to have their father in their lives.
Hello and happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Just could get me a nice haircut. It's been a long time coming. It's been a very busy week for me, but it's kind of busy these days. Trying to be on the grind. Got some event coming on that I'm hosting, planning, but never forget about my people. Forget about this network. This is real. We're not playing. This is I really do care about this network, and I just wanted to talk about something quickly. It's about how our separated fathers, how you deal with situations where maybe your child has come to spend time with you, your time with each other, and your child is confiding certain information with you regarding situations at home with the mom. How do you deal with that? It depends. It depends. Even to the point where your child can never confide in you, depicts the kind of relationship you've managed to build with your child. So let me start from there. A lot of us don't understand the importance of building good, healthy relationship with your child, to make your child feel comfortable enough to come and confide in you, comfortable enough to be your friend. We're the parents, so there should be that boundary, But then again, you can't make your child feel safe enough to come talk to you. Not out of pressure. You don't sit your child down and be prying into your ex's business, trying to know what's going on with your exes, and turn your child or your children into a spy. No, don't do that. That is wrong, because trust me, kids don't want to be put in such uncomfortable position. I've been in a situation where my exes have told my child to secretly take picture of things in the house and asking my sleeping situation, asking all those things. No, that is foul. Once it's done, it's done. Everyone has to live their personal life. You don't want to be prying into people's privacy. But it's unfortunately these things happen. So what do you do? How do you deal with it? So I would say, number one, depending on the age of the child. When I have my daughter living, and the mom is single. Some of this mom, they have their own simple pleasures of life. They have to move on. They move on. Let's say they have dependent. People are different. I've seen women that can protect their family, make sure they're not bringing man or man around until they kind of show off here. But not in all situations. In many situations these days, you see some mothers, some single moms care so much about their own pleasure that they don't care the impact, even the impact of bringing a man that you don't know too well, or you're not so certain, and then the relationship doesn't last, and then you bring another man. It's not a good look. It's not a good look, and it's not a good way to raise a child. So I, for one, my kids have never seen me, except with my ex. They've never seen me with another woman, like bringing a woman home, and then they see this one. They say, if I'm a man, I don't do that. So, but, that's number one. And another thing, again, is where a situation where something is happening. Maybe the child is feeling uncomfortable with the way things are going on with the mom, and tells you, how do you react? You don't overreact. You have to look at one thing I learned from separation and going separated program is there are certain things you can't control. The day-to-day living you can't control. You can't start controlling where they go to, what they eat, I see some separated for a long time, getting involved in all those little arguments about, oh, my daughter ate this, why did you feed him? She doesn't eat. This now, but there are fundamental things like where a child goes to school, what kind of religious, if the child is going to take on a certain religion, or things that are fundamental that are definitely bound to affect a child's future. Definitely have a conversation. So let's say, I remember my daughter was a lot young, and then the mom had this woman, maybe is a husband that is not a husband again now, can't wash my daughter. I'm like, no, that's foul, man. And that's a girl. And I've asked women around. Most of the women I've asked, I don't think I found a woman that have told me that is the correct thing to do. But mine maintains it's the correct thing to do. You just meet a man. I don't care what title the man be, as husband or boyfriend. You don't allow that man. That tells us about you. Where are you? Well, taking care of your little girl, protecting your child. Then another man that is not the father come out and washing your little child. I think that's foul. So there are other situations where, maybe child comes back home and the mom, of course, different men, they're taking up the whole space, living in a certain manner or lifestyle that is not, that the child is not familiar with or accustomed to, and how all of these creates tensions. And how do you deal with that? Again, your child is confiding in you. The child is going to go back to the mom and feels like, as I said, don't tell mom, or, because she doesn't want to look like she's snitching, or she's going to get into trouble, or there's going to incur some punishment. Or feels like, again, she can't tell you things again. How do you balance that? It's a delicate balance, but it's one where, like I said, if it's a serious one, if it's the one that threatens the sanctity and threatens the life, or threatens the future, threatens in a way the child is going to be abused, then yes, you need to take it up with the mom and right authority if it's up to that level. But yeah, by and large, there are little things you need to just guide your child about. Like I got my child how to things to do, how to coordinate herself or coordinate himself. So you just find a way and guide your child and have a conversation with your ex if that is possible. We'll find a way to broach that subject without necessarily giving out your daughter, and the data put the data in the middle, or your son in the middle. So it is quite tough when people part ways, and there are things you can't just control. So those things you just need to accept that you can't control everything. There are certain things you can't control, and just accept it and leave and just what it is. But like I said, focus on the bigger picture. Focus on those things that are major that you cannot. But and then also tell my daughter, listen, be brave, be bold to come. Not every little thing, but the kids are wise. Come tell me, like when my other kids go to the moms and then they come back, they done. I don't sit and say, what happened? They must say, how was the weekend? You guys did on the phone? But start prying into, no, I don't think it's necessary. You're putting them in a very, in a situation they don't really want to be in, I tell you. So let's let them have the joy of childhood. Let them enjoy their innocence and protect their innocence. But anyways, I just wanted to touch on that topic briefly, not to dwell too much on it. Wish you a happy weekend. Enjoy, enjoy, and then drink safely and drive safely. Take care.